Build your own stage. Too many times I speak with people that want to get on stage, but they're not willing to build their own stage. And I want to talk to you today about why it is that you should, in fact, build your own stage. So, why should you build your own stage? Because if you want to get on stages, that's honestly the fastest way for you to do that. Now, it's not only about building a stage, but the fact that you build a stage says that you're willing to put your own money on the line. You're willing to put your own ego on the line. You're willing to put your own name on the line. And by ego, I mean you're willing to let your ego get out of the way because that first stage you build is humbling. Trust me, when you finally do build that stage, you're going to realize there's a lot more work that needs to be done. Even the most successful people that we know, the most famous people, whether in person or online, when they build that first stage, a lot of people don't come to them. It's similar to building a business. When you first start building a business and you're a first time business owner or business builder, if you will, you're not going to have a lot of people flocking to you for your product or your service because you're a first time business owner. They're not sure whether or not you're actually going to be able to do it or not. They're not sure if your business, your product, your service is one that they can trust. But if you've built several businesses, people will already know that, all right, Bill has built six businesses now. They've all done fairly well for themselves. I know the seventh one's going to be good. So I'll go ahead and support it right away. That's the only way that your stage will succeed with hundreds of, or thousands or tens of thousands of people is if you already have that reputation built up. And if you've never built a stage before, well, you may not have that built up. Now, if you're a Tony Robbins or an Ed Milet or a Grant Cardone, somebody like that who hasn't built their own stage yet, which all of these guys clearly have, but let's say you're at that successful level as a speaker, as a business owner, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to build a stage this coming year, and you build it, people will come to that. People will come because of their success in other areas of life. So if you only built one business, if you have not had much success and you build a stage, I want to let you know that people may not come. And that's okay. But you have to realize that and then realize the point and the long-term effect of you building that stage, which that long-term effect is that it will get you on other stages because you are willing to do the work. You are willing to put your name on the line. You're willing to put your business on the line because anybody that invites you on their stage, that's what they're doing. They are putting their reputation on the line to bring you on their stage. So if you just want to get on a stage, you need to be ready to help boost their reputation. Because if you're not, then you're not ready to be on stage. You need to make sure that you can boost their reputation. You can bring in people. That's part of what, when you build a stage, you have to think about. Is this speaker going to fit with where I'm trying to go with this event? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, maybe we'll move on to the next steps. Have they done anything before? Or are they just somebody who can talk a good game? And it's okay if maybe they're just very knowledgeable in a subject and haven't necessarily done it. That's okay, but you have to realize what that's going to do for the audience. Audience members want to see that somebody has done the things that they talk about as well, unless if they're just trying to get factual information. That's a totally different thing. We see that with universities where you learn business or you learn engineering or marketing from people that haven't necessarily done that before. And that's okay. There's a place for that. So think about that as well. Has this person actually done the things that they're going to speak on? And the third thing, do they actually have anything that they say they're going to speak on? What are they going to bring value with? So you, as a person trying to get on somebody's stage, you need to show them and tell them what it is that you can speak about. Don't just ask them to be on their stage. You need to know what their motive is for having this event and tell them how you can fit into that event. if they are already at that point that they've already figured out what their event is going to be for and who's it going to be for and everything. But if not, still have that conversation and let them know that, hey, I'm going to be able to speak on these things. And that way they know whether or not you are going to be a good fit for their stage or not. And as an event coordinator, as somebody that's hosting their own event, they're worried about, are you going to try and pitch on their stage? So make sure that they know whether or not, and this depends on the event as well. A lot of events that I go to and I enjoy the most, people aren't just pitching from stage. They're providing value. And of course, through providing that value, people want to get to know them and their service or their product so they can buy from them. And that's perfectly fine. But I don't want a speaker coming up and just talking about how great their service is and how somebody should buy it, and they pitch that on stage, and oh, here, this one-time offer, I'm going to give it to you for $3.99 or $4,000, whatever that price point looks like for that service, and act like, oh, this is a stage special price. No, I don't want a speaker like that. So you need to know whether they're accepting speakers like that or not. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just my personal preference. I don't want somebody like that on my stage. I don't want a stage like that. But bring that value, and then through that value you brought, if somebody wants to buy from you, great. They'll talk to you afterwards. Don't bring it up on the stage unless it's kind of casually like, hey, this is what I do, just kind of explaining who you are. But I digress from that. So build that stage, because that's what's going to get you on the other stages. That's what's going to get you the understanding of what other speakers, what other event hosts are looking for. So that's why I say you should build your stage. Not because it sounds like something cool, but because it has an end goal there. Of course, you want to bring value and help people with that stage that you build. But on top of that, it gives you the credibility and the validity that you are a speaker worth bringing on their stage because you've built one before. You know what it's like to go through that. So you're going to be able to bring that value, and you'll get that perspective. And honestly, you'll probably be able to bring more people in and more value to that stage for that event host because you understand what it takes to do that event. And so you're going to market more for them and help them and talk about that event that you're going to be on as well, which will be very attractive for them. And then also as an event host, which goes back to helping you get on other stages, as an event host, I have to consider, is Philip somebody that's going to bring ticket sales for me? And based on his reputation, how many ticket sales will that be? And is it worth the cost to bring him on stage or not? I'll go back to Ed Milet or Tony Robbins. We look at them and they are phenomenal speakers. They have very big names and very big followings. They are going to be able to bring tons of people to your event, but they come with a big price tag too. So you have to keep that in mind with your budget. And that's what these speakers or the hosts have to do. They have to keep in mind what their budget is. So work with them, be open to that, have that upfront conversation. Like, look, what are you looking for? What does your budget look like? How can I come in and help you? And maybe we get a win-win for each other. And that could look like, hey, you basically pay for my travel, which is typically flights and hotel, and I come speak for free, or I get to sell on stage and I'll come speak for free, but I'm selling from your stage, or they just pay you outright and then you take care of your own travel, but you don't get to sell on stage. And there's different nuances within all of that, but have that in mind. And as you build a stage, it also helps you understand cost of things. So you can come in and ask for a fair value for yourself, but also a fair value for them that's not going to break their bank and then make it where they lose tons of money on their event. Hopefully they don't. But that's just another reason why you need to build your stage so you can understand the cost of building a stage, building an event out, because it is costly and it takes a lot of time as well, which a lot of people don't think about. But go build that stage to give yourself, one, the credibility that you have built a stage, two, to get those reps in, because you have to get reps in speaking, you have to get reps in building your own events, or people will not come to your events or listen to your speeches. And three, it'll allow you the understanding of what it takes to run an event. And so people will give you that credibility, which will get you on their stage because they realize you're not just coming to get on stage just to be on stage. You actually have a plan. Because when you can show somebody a plan, provide them a solution, they're more likely to put you on stage. But having that experience and that background really builds up your brand as well. Because if you built a stage and now you go to get on somebody else's stage, you're probably bringing people that were there at your event over to their event as well. So it all comes full circle. So make sure that you build your stage if you're wanting to get on stages. And if you would like more help with learning how to build a stage, get better at public speaking, then use the link below. And if you're looking for more information on how to get on stage or just get better at public speaking, head on over to my website, speakingsessions.com. Under the coaching tab, we have the Speaking Sessions Lounge that you can check out and be able to get more involved with learning how to speak better and get on stage and build that brand identity that you need to build to be able to create the most impact in your life.